1 circuit, you know, you're playing against the same set of teams year round, right? Whereas now you're playing against completely unknown entities for some of these teams.
Bind is a good map, I think, to start off with for a lot of these guys, because it allows the option to, I think, pick agents that you're not going to pick later on, right? Brimstone is a big one for that. Bind has always been the Brimstone map, and really, Brimstone isn't that useful on any other map at this point, so it's a good opportunity to get one of those out of the way, get a controller that is otherwise not as good as Omen or Astra in the mix. We are going to see Viper from both teams, so, I mean, split without Viper, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of teams do prefer a Viper, but you can definitely flex off of that. And again, Skye is another one of those agents that you're probably not going to see on any other map than Bind. So this is a good one to start off with for them.
Yeah, exactly. And in terms of Galatasaray, we've seen them play this map a handful of times within best of threes with the blender draft. They're running, I believe, the exact same comp that they always do. So they've not really had too much chance to sort of flex anything new. But it's tried, it's tested, it's worked quite well for them. They've been happy to play it amidst this weird and wacky format. So I'm expecting big things from this.
Yeah, as am I. I would like to, I'd like to see something cool out of these two teams as well. I do want Vitality to show something good, but I've been loving Galatasaray so far in this tournament. I think they have been wonderful in terms of their ability to take down, you know, on paper, teams that should be beating them. So I would like to, I'd like to see this be a close series here.
I hope so, and I think if any team can put up a bit of a fight, it's a team that's been warming up and getting ready for just this. You see the orb immediately taken, and now just going to tuck on in here, and actually, a bit of a fight here. Ooh. Yampy going to need to be careful. Wide swings, unfortunately, caught off guard. It's going to be the opening pick, then immediately teleport away to go and hit that B site.
Yeah, Durka lying in wait around here with Sayonara. Obviously, Skye gonna do a lot of work in just getting a pop flash out for Durka at points during this map, right? We know the role that Durka likes to play, and they will push up B long, and they will get caught out here by Glove, who sends them running, sends them packing. Chronicle trying to take some space on the other side of the map, and does so indeed, takes down the Mirror Viper there. Spike will go down on A in the meantime.
Yeah, I love the space taken, but the issue is so far removed from the situation. They have to retake so much space, even with that advanced foothold. And you still got that fade hanging around in Link that could cause some problems late round as they try and close this on out. And actually, it's going to be a matter of timing here as to this fight. But actually, over towards Heaven, they pop on out. Durka, low HP. Padzera. Ooh, hops out for one. Sayonara is going to find the trade here. Chronicle spamming away all through the wall. Can't quite finish the kill. Glove's going to take him down. And now tap on the defuse, but there it is. The paint shells come on through. So much happening. Prophet doesn't even know where to look. And that is going to be the first round on the board there for GS.
Yeah, Galatasaray showing Team Vitality that they do have another opponent to worry about here. They've already run into Eternal Fire and paid the price. Now, a team that took down Eternal Fire not 2 months ago is definitely going to give them similar problems, right? It's just a pistol round, it's not the end of the world, and we've seen eco rounds on the second go the opposite way a lot of the time here in Project Blender, but over the course of a best of 3, you don't have to fight as hard for every single round, so we may just see them save on this one, Vitality, and take the L.
You would expect to, but also we saw Team Vitality very much putting up some heavy fights in these eco rounds on their series yesterday. They weren't letting a single round go for free, so I don't think that necessarily the weapon deficit could be insurmountable.
Walking on in here, Sayonara lying in wait, and that's 2 quick taps with the classic. Can get back out of there, and actually they've gained themselves, I think that was a Marshall, to start off the round. And that's how it starts. It starts with one. It starts with a picked up weapon and it spirals. Unfortunately, A site completely vacated. Durka Chronicle could put up a little bit of a fight here. I've taken that space, but gonna be cut up and stuck in the middle of the offensive. Bulldog not pulled out there. Chronicle does find the trade, still gives them that player advantage. Damage sustained is heavy, but Spike goes down and suddenly retake on their hands. And it's gonna be a difficult one to try and get a foothold back into, even with the numbers here. Yeah, a lot of work done with the pistols already. But a lot of work left to do, obviously, with the spike down, now longer range engagements to take on. Those salvos will head over towards bench, but no player from Galatasaray are out there. Zesk doing a lot of work with the Guardian, holding them off for the time being. Chronicle trying to make his way in, but he's got players on either side. Galatasaray will convert in the end. Make it 2-0, though. They definitely took some casualties in that round.
Yeah, it is. It's not without a little bit of a scare in the middle of all of that, but well done to sort of bring it back, keep it under control there this whole time. I think there's a question there is if Vent doesn't find that first pick, if the Bulldog isn't picked up in time, that's another huge weapon. It's another player advantage, but alas, not meant to be. And even with the picked up weapons, range is a little bit of a problem. And with that final play with Chronicle still kind of having their location known and being the last player alive, it was sort of all fell into place there for Galatasaray.
Well, for now, Vitality, the real work starts with weapons in hand. Chronicle staring down. A short there looking for a kill, but the smoke is up and Padisa moves into position.
Yeah, slowly creeping up. Profek is got a little bit of help here, but even the Molotov, it's going to be difficult. Nampy's going to go down. Profek caught out in the open. Ooh, just about able to tuck on in that smoke. A lifesaver. Oh, but a pot shot through the smoke. You're kind of rooting for him at that point with the survivability, but alas, not quite going to be allowed to escape and would have been daylight robbery. You could see Durka taking a little bit of space, vacate to the site. It's going to call over the teammates. The issue they're going to have is, you know, going to need to go huge here in the meantime to try stop the flood from even reaching the B side.
Yeah, things have gone out of hand a little bit, but that's good timing from Durka as Vent is trying to pick up the orb, and now Galatasaray have players on either side, and Durka being one of them makes your life very difficult. Takes down Padisa as well. Trying to take more space too here. Well, it's around the corner, is going to be able to get the trade in the end, brings it to a 2v2 with Chronicle making moves as well. Possibly Vitality can get back in. Sayonara now coming round from here, looking for either player, and does manage to find one. The trade is good. Well, can he convert for 3? Not quite. Vitality, by the skin of their teeth, managed to make it work on the retake.
Just about, but you see a world where that lines up there on a knife's edge. Beautifully done, and we need to talk about the timing there, Durka. You know, perfectly done. Could have gone for a little bit more, was denied at least fairly quickly. We get to see Profek again. Oh, this hurt, you know. The tuck on in, thought they were behind the wall, just wasn't quite there. Durka, though, applies the pressure, pinces them onto their site, forces them into a really uncomfortable spot, and gives the time for the teammates to work round elbow. But yet, still comes down to that 1v1, and that's not something we can really overlook.
Well, Vitality, their job is going to be a little harder now, having taken so many casualties. They're going to have a bit of an awkward bye here. And so far, Galatasaray have given them a lot to think about. At this point in the day, still looking to warm up and get into this game. But
yeah. Okay. Drone goes on in. It's going to be spotted. There isn't really going to be too much of a swing off the back of it, though. And I think a lot of information spotted. They're not going to want to risk it.
Chronicle finds one through the smoke there. It does slow down Galatasaray significantly. Chronicle is going to try and hold down that position as well, but Padisa moves in, gets that first onto Yampi. Glove as well. Vitality still just not managing to find a foothold here in this game. Out goes the Nightfall to slow down Profek as well, and the spike will go down for that. Durka, can he do anything a little more this time around? He's going to have to do a hell of a lot. Takes down one, but he's still got 2 players left to deal with, clearing out their lamps with the boombot. He doesn't know where either of these players are now, trying to deal with every piece of utility. 4K for Glove. Galatasaray not giving Vitality anything here.
Yeah, beautifully played from the two of them there. The smoke fades, you're wide out in the open sitting duck. There's nothing really you can do. You know, you could tap the spike, hope that there's still blast packs available and that you see somebody, you know, poke their head on up and peek you, but was not given the isolated fights. Really well done there of Galatasaray to deny that, because this is a team that if you give Durka the opportunity, if you let them get those fights one by one with the smoke still up, he will convert every time. So beautifully done to deny any sort of advantage and any sort of clutch potential coming on through there. Immediately stomps Vitality as well. They get one round and then immediately shuts it down, and they shut the beginning of this round down as well.
Oh man, things are going from bad to worse here every single time, and if Vitality can't get more than one kill in this round here in this eco, it's just, there's really... things are... well, you're starting to ask questions at that point. How can we get back into this game? It's starting to get to that area where even when Vitality won that round, they had one player remaining. Galatasaray have just had their numbers so far. You have to wonder where this is going to stop.
Does it stop? I think that's going to be the next question. Yeah, it's still technically early days, but what we're seeing is dominance. Got to caveat that by saying that the weaponry wasn't incredible coming into that round. This is going to be the round that makes me a believer or not, right? Is that, yeah, you're missing a little bit of armor, you're missing a little bit of utilities, but you've got 3 ultimates online, you've got rifles on everyone. This has to be a round that they convert. Otherwise, we're going to see Galatasaray really start to run away with themselves, run away with the economy. And the opening fight, it's only going to be one player Garden. It's going to be Profek, immediately dips away, remembers flashbacks of last time being caught here, but has to concede that space, knows that danger's knocking on this B-side door already.
It's not just danger, every single member almost of the team lined up here in Garden looking for a way in towards the site, and they knew the truth of the matter that Vitality just trying to hold things down. Then they might just rush on in. Profek trying to get out of dodge, manages to get around the corner. Will throw down the Molotov to keep them away as well, but damage has already been done. Ults are available for Vitality. They have used the Seekers now to find out where Galatasaray are coming from. And we'll know now that they are over towards B long, but the TP comes through. Chronicle is lying in wait for that one though. Takes out Glove and slows down the rest of the members. This might just be a round finally for Vitality, won by their own metal. And it is just Werlas left, and well,
30 seconds left.
While we do know their quality, the question is, can they win a 1v4?
Nope, it would seem not. Chronicle with the 4th in the round. And I think what's incredible about that round, it is not only, you know, here's the teleport comes through, finds the first, backs away, puts out that snake spike to deny the space, right, to deny being overwhelmed. But they know that he hasn't crossed over to, well, to their left-hand side, to his right. So they know where he is the whole time. They filter in one by one. It's not really a great double swing coming out from them. So they all fall one by one. So the fact that he manages to do it whilst, you know, location fully on blast for the world to see, it is, I think, testament there. But again, need to see it converted. That's going to be the question here is, can we see back-to-back rounds put together? Or is this going to be another case of Galatasaray? And with this dimension drift coming through immediately, so much information, so much space being taken, you can tell, look at that showstopper to come on through. That site is open for business.
Yeah, it seemed like Vitality were hesitant to head towards B. I mean, the Guiding Light gave the information that players were in B Fountain, but nobody from Vitality wanted to rotate over quickly. You can see that Galatasaray are making them second guess themselves here early on into the series. It's paying dividends. Viper's pit down. They're not really finding an entry in towards the site, trying to send the Trailblazer through to get any information possible, but it doesn't seem like they've gained anything whatsoever. Durka will finally find one with the showstopper, but has to move into the Viper's pit at some point. Now trying to go for the defuse. Out comes the orbital strike, things going left, right, and center here. Galatasaray, however, losing more members than Vitality. It is just up to Vent in the end. Is he going to go for this kill? I mean, there's no time left for the spike, so Profek is going to have to run away. Both players survive somehow.
Absolutely miraculous scenes there, and again, not able to convert. This has been really nicely done. Time up being called, and I think it's about time here. Something I really want to highlight, I don't know if you've noticed, the tethers this game have been almighty here. And Glove's just been doing so much by denying any ability to peek here. Timeout being called, I think, absolutely necessary because we've seen set plays coming through, right? We've seen them win these rounds with something a little bit flashy, but it's not being consistent, and consistency is what we're going to want to see if we want to see them close up this gap and really try and get something done here, especially with, the more favored side being their starting place. I've definitely got queries. I like how many ultimates we saw drawn out, really from both sides there. Keeps them both a little bit humble, but again, Galatasaray really just benefits from that given the situation they're in right now.
Yeah, I mean, quite obvious why you would go for a tactical pause here, Pal having a chat to the players, and right now, I mean, there's a lot of questions, right? Yampy got his first kill in that round, and everybody else has just kind of been finding it hard to win the 1v1s. It's not a question that you really think of when you think of Vitality. This roster should not be losing 1v1s in this situation against basically any player in the world, let alone the side of Galatasaray, right? This is not a kind of side that they're going to be playing day to day. On paper, they're going to be playing against more difficult teams than Galatasaray, but you can't take anything away from these guys. Galatasaray have been playing absolutely ridiculously so far. I have no notes for the time being. They have Vitality's number right now. My
notes are just keep it up, If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Judge, it's a bit of a desperation play. I know the Viper's pit's out there, but the issue, hell, they're just going to push right on through. It doesn't even matter there. The Judge up close gets one, and the Spike gets dropped uncomfortably. That's a bit of a mistake to be making.
Man, yeah. Results in a lot of casualties here, and for Galatasaray, they've worked so hard to get into this position. They start losing rounds to very small things like that. How as well as so far into the site here, might just be able to take Yampy by surprise. He does, gets traded out, but still, I think just getting to that position raises more question marks for Vitality. And now for Ben, it is a 1v3, but I think the damage has been done in just, getting in their heads a little bit there. Galatasaray, once they lost that many players through the Viper's pit, there wasn't really much they could do, but still, things looking good for this team. Vitality, however, have stabilized just a little bit. The blood loss has been quelled. They're back into the game here.
They are indeed a very important round to win for the momentum there. One ultimate kind of shuts this down. I think the Viper's pit was meant to act as a deterrent. The issue is it doesn't really deter GS, that they choose to push through this anyway, and it's a difficult choke point to push past at the best of time. They've hindered themselves immensely by doing this. They don't even try and wait it out, feel this out. They just go for it. And maybe that little bit of over-aggression going to start causing some queries for them. All of the utility in the kitchen sink being thrown here. Chronicle's going to find the first. The issue is encroached upon, but the spray transfer is immaculate. The two of them decimate the entire offensive.
Glove is able to get the trade, but it's too little too late at that point. Yampy will finish out the round, and Vitality are back into things. Okay, gaining a bit of confidence as well, and I think this is what we were looking for from them yesterday as well, is once they gained that confidence back, suddenly, the names lived up to their reputations in the end, and I'm hoping that's what we'll see now, because Vitality have had a bit of a non-starter so far, but Chronicle has kind of lugged the team around on his back up until this point, and maybe that's exactly what they needed to wake up.
Maybe. It's just so well done. There is the quick succession. You and I are both a little surprised by that. And Glove, puts up a decent final stand, but there's not really much you can do when you're left at that point. Operators back out on Durka here, and I'm excited to see whether it's going to be the difference maker that we've been really, clinging on to the hope for. Smoke goes up in his face. We're not going to get to see any early aggressions. Over towards A, actually, that they're having a bit of a poke and a prod there. He's going to have some problems here. Maybe a little bit misled, but there it is. The flash is good, but Chronicle swings off the back. It's going to be a trade. Sayonara, a lot of information from the dog there, but unfortunately now trapped and going to be penned in there. Wall comes up to try and alleviate the pressure. It's actually going to allow Sayonara to exit. That is all going to be calmed on over, though.
Yeah, it's good team play there from Chronicle, who also manages to get the second kill in the round as well onto Glove. Sends Galatasaray packing back over towards short. They are just going to commit to the site. They know they have at least some control of it. Both of these players from Vitality are just going to have to, you know, head back round, go from the other side. That's fine. But this lurk from Werlas could be absolutely massive. Durka was looking there. He did catch a glimpse of Werlas right as he jumped out of the smoke. And actually, with the teammates heading in, I think Werlas giving information that Vitality were walking away from that one. They've committed to B instead, and that just could be... Oh, I thought some skin for Durka to bite down on, but he does not get anything out of that one with the operator. Vent turning around the corner with the knife. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking there. Prophet will take full advantage, and he will take a second for free as well. Vitality suddenly not looking quite as... well... quite as shaky as they were to begin with.
Yeah, the knife peek is, you know me, I never like to criticize, but it feels weird when you've had no information on Elbow at all in the round. That's something you choose to peek. You know, at least put your classic out, you know. But, you know, sometimes these mistakes happen. Maybe thought that the team had a little bit more information in towards backside than they did. But, yeah, beautifully played from Prophet just to stay calm in this situation. Has all the support could ever need. Doesn't actually end up calling upon any of it. And that's what we've come to see. Tied up the scoreboard. 3 rounds in succession. Actually, the most that any team has been able to put together today. And now we'll see whether they can continue this on, close out on a high. They've got 2 ultimates available. They've denied, yes, a fair amount of opportunity here. So, giving themselves small mercy. Sayonara about to have a hell of a time, but already called over teammates. There goes the stim beacon to activate the rest of the team, but still so hesitant. And that hesitation, it's going to come at a cost. Smokes go out, a little bit of chip damage. Flash, ooh, Prophet doesn't want any piece of that.
Chronicle once again getting on the board. He cannot do any wrong so far. Prophet finds one through the smoke as well, but Chronicle is cleaning up house now. He manages to get his 3rd, and it looks like he's going to be the one to get the 4th if he's the first to turn around this corner, but Glove is playing cat and mouse with him. Gets taken out by Prophet in the end. Chronicle is on an absolute beast game right now. I mean, look, yeah, that was an eco round for Galatasaray in the end, but he's still putting up numbers every single round. It's not the role that you would expect to do that, right? The Viper for the team, doing all of that hard work when you do have a Sky and you do have a Teo on your team, but I guess quality is quality in the end.
Exactly. Timeout being called this time from Galatasaray. And I think they've realized there's a little bit of an issue. 4 rounds in a row. This is kind of the turning point. I would have liked to see it maybe the round before, because I think you're only going to get 1 round best out of this timeout. I think,
sure,
you know,
yeah.
It's, yes, it's an important round. If you can type the scoreboard, that's great, especially going on to that defense side, right? But I think that... given that you only get 3 in the series and Vitality have really started to look online now, I would either been using it earlier or just keeping hold of it. You know, it doesn't feel like the most efficient use of a minute's chat time, you know?
Yeah, honestly, at this point, if the half goes to 7-5, the half goes to 7-5. I think you take a timeout after the pistol round, in my opinion, of the next half at this point. But hey,
yeah,
might as well. If the coach feels that now is the time to take a timeout, then
you don't doubt the coach.
You do have to, you do have to trust that. And I do think Galatasaray have the wins under their belt that you know shows that they're making the right decisions at some point during the tournament, because they have taken down 2 while we have had some reservations, some questions about FUT Esports and Gentlemates so far in the off-season. They are VCT teams in the end. They're backed by VCT organizations, so taking them down is no small feat.
I love Sayonara's position here. Unfortunately, it's about to get completely neutralized. I say that. It's a little bit messy. Sayonara will go down. They've got a bit of an issue. There comes that. Oh, God, it's an absolute mess. Prophet still finds the kill, so it was all for naught. They go 1 for 1, I guess.
There is no visual.
There's no visual. Yeah.
None whatsoever.
There is no
I
more
knew
embarrassing
exactly
say.
what was going on at every moment of that engagement there.
No, we've
and
used 2
somehow it
ultimates.
only ends with 1 kill on either team, yeah.
We've used 2 ultimates, and there's no more ultimates on the board, so this round is going to be smooth sailing from here.
Yeah.
Profek in a nice position here, but it's going to be a rough fight. Matter of reactions. Profek wins that one out every day of the week. Yampy gets one, and that's going to cause a little bit of problems trying to jump out of Hookah here. And there we go. Actually, lovely force of the fight onto Yampy. That puts Profek in a really uncomfortable situation. No support nearby. Has to just drop back.
Durka, though, coming around from behind from Garden. Can do a lot from this position. Zesk is showing himself just a little bit here. Glove finds Durka, though. Chronicle, again, is going to have to put the team on his back. Profek gets his third in the round. It's absolutely fine. Vitality will make it 7 in the end. That timeout came to nothing for Galatasaray to close out the half. That was unfortunate, right? The orbital strike was a good zoning ult, but it actually just sent Profek directly into the Galatasaray side to get that kill.
Yeah, it was... So we see that, we'll say again, the Dimension Drift comes out, and is a little bit of an unfortunate one because it forces the fight with Profek. We do see the Armageddon come out at some point, but it doesn't feel particularly impactful. They're trying to use it as like a site-taking tool, but they've already kind of got themselves carved on in. The Nightfall comes on out. It's a very costly round, all things considered, on all sort of fronts, but Vitality definitely coming out on top. That timeout, we talked about, it can only really get one round's use out of it, and it doesn't even come to fruition, so they're still down here. Pistol round, maybe not necessarily the end of the world here, but would be nice to kind of tie them on up early on here. Looks like they've got a heavy B stack, and unfortunately, that's the issue with the gamble stack. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Well, other times you sing the blues, I think is how that tends to go. But Vitality really committing everything here to the A site, and there's absolutely no contest whatsoever. I mean, no. Galatasaray are going full retake on this one at this point. Well, that gave the information that they are there. Oh, sees the barrel of a gun, gets taken out by it in the end. Profek is just going to go for more and actually gets a second. Takes a lot of damage. Going to have to get away from that boom bot there, and all of that utility that is left on the Galatasaray side is coming out. I mean, kills either way. That's good. That brings them back to a good situation, but Profek is just cleaning up house once again. I mean, really coming to life here in the latter half of this game. Glove is able to find one, but Profek with a 4K and the pistol round will give Vitality the advantage at the start of the second. The
player that you highlighted, the player that you sung praises of, and this is exactly why. And it's not even, you know, the Brimstone's never expected to be the front runner in the frag department, especially on a team with 2 duelists, right? So I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side. Especially on a team where you've got such heavy firepower is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I do think for Vitality still, I mean, plenty of players left to wake up, right? It has really just been the Chronicle and Profek show for the time being, and it continues to be that way. Again, they are kind of the linchpins a lot of the time for this team as it stands, you know. With a team composition like this on Bind, a lot of the time, I think Durka is going to want to play by himself, either with the operator in hand or in terms of doing a lurk or something like that. And it does leave you to your own devices. It means that, you know, the controllers do somewhat become de facto duelist, because the initiators are going to want to use their flashes to get you in, and they're not the kind of initiators that are incredibly self-sufficient in that regard. So yeah, I guess it works out in that way that Profek and Chronicle, if you have the quality to be able to play duelist on a controller, why not?
I think the other issue that's going to arise here is, I did briefly mention the double duelist. It's not exactly the best for defense. Yeah, you've got a lot of smokes to work with here, but you've got stall, you've got nothing really beyond that. Chronicle with another pick straight on towards the site there. Profek's got smokes available. They've already taken all the space they could want and more here. And Chronicle's just going to keep on pushing further. Just this playback site means that they've got such padding on this retake. They've got the security for the spike to go down and for post plants to be heavily established.
Yeah. For Galatasaray, all they can do is watch idly, go for exits, but Vitality have no reason to go in through CT. There is really no weapon they can pick up from the Galatasaray side. Well, Profek has an ego though, so he will go for it. Or at the very least, maybe he just wants to get kills on the board, who knows. And Vitality will head out. I guess he didn't have a weapon to lose, so that's fine.
Yeah,
What's that whole point?
Exactly. You know, when you've got a little bit of an advantage, when you've got the confidence flowing like this, when the round is, you know, in your pocket already, you might as well start racking up the old orbs. It doesn't even really matter necessarily at this point, but it's just a nice extra bonus, isn't it? You know, you've already got that orbital strike online going into round 3. It's diabolical.
Yeah, so things have turned around so quickly for Galatasaray, right? They had a brilliant start. Vitality just could not soak up the pressure that they were bringing to the game. But off the back of, I mean, come on, look at this is like looking at the state of the Western economy right now. It's the top percentage has all of the kills, guys. Come on.
Whoa, deep and meaningful political messages in my funny video game.
Let's get some kill redistribution going on. You don't need all of them.
Well, I mean, they want them anyway. I mean,
I don't know.
Got a house over on Breeze, you know, nice little tropical getaway.
I don't know. I think the property value there is kind of the massive tanker
true.
spilling oil.
Nobody can go there anymore. They've cut off, you know, Breeze from.
BP were already there. Anyway, Vitality moving on through into the A site. And Galatasaray this time doing a better job of keeping them at bay. Slowed them down a little bit with one kill there. They have the weaponry to hold them back. Yampi will not get the spike down in the end. The Molly will stop him from doing so, but he's going to go for a second bite at the cherry now. Orbital strike comes out. Chronicle gets taken down. Yampi is there with the trade, but it still brings it to a 3v3 here. And Vent has taken up that position. Vitality still don't just want to get that spike on the ground. They know that there may just be a player waiting around the corner for them. Durka playing bodyguard, but they both get taken out in the end. It's just Profek left, and he's done so well over the last few rounds, but now he has to defend the spike against 3 players. 3 bloodthirsty players from Galatasaray as well. He's going to have to take them down one by one. Out comes the Molotov. Slows them down at the very least, but he's still got these guys to deal with because Padisa is going to get right back on that one. The high-low is ready from Vent. He gets the kill. Galatasaray, hard fought, get their first round in the half.
They do. It's a lovely stall there, and you know, having the lineup available, being able to call that on the fly. The issue is that all it is prolonging the inevitable. There's enough time left on that spike that they can just afford to wait out that Molotov. Little bit closer towards the time of being done, then it gets really uncomfortable, right? Then it gets to be a matter, but you know that eventually you're going to be able to hop somebody on. We talked about the high-low. It just becomes an impossible situation with only that single molly left there. Making the best of a bad outcome, but as you said, first round on the board, it's not without being very fought over. Whether Vitality can immediately bite right back, that's going to be the real question here. And this time, looks like they're turning down the pace dramatically, and I think I like this tonal shift.
Yeah, for sure. I think, especially after a round like that last one, where they kind of got hamstringed on their way into the site, clotheslined a little bit. They had to slow things down mid-round. You don't want that to happen, so... And you've seen a lot of teams in this tournament loving to play incredibly slowly, wait until the last second and get in towards sight. Vitality are not that kind of team, it doesn't seem. But this time around, heading for that start, and Profek picks up a kill early on to help them with that goal.
Yep. Early kills have been the name of the game for them. They've been very successful with these opening duels. The conversion thereupon has been sometimes hit and miss, but it's going to need to be something magnificent here from Zeesk. And Smoke's dropped down, the attention's drawn away for a second, desperately just dodging all of the info gathering. Boombot's not going to find anything here. But on the other side of the map, Chronicle's got one, and that's going to be the attention drawn away. They're not quite sure where the final resting place is. They're going to hear the teleporter go. Glove needs to find something magnificent. Flying through the air. Durka is an angel gliding onto this site. Now they've got the spike. They've got 15 seconds to get it down here. That's all they need. Paint shells going to be too prolonged to deny the plant actually being put down there. 2 for 1, and it's going to be Yampi to close on out.
Another relatively simple round for Vitality. I mean, trades back and forth, but they get it done. Now, up to double digits. This has been textbook, really, since those first 5 rounds, right, for Galatasaray going their favour. since then, they have definitely ramped up the pressure. It was a good effort by Glove, almost getting the spray transfer onto Durka there, but Durka wins out, and that one helps them close out this round. They just have the rest of the way to go here.
Yeah, and it looks almost certain to be an 11th with the very limited arsenal that the Galatasaray are bringing into this. It's going to need to be something early. It's going to need to be something flashy. Yampi actually just choosing to fall back. They're not willing to risk their life. Issue is Prophet goes down. That's going to be a weapon. Actually, they're not going to be able to recover it. Just slightly too far away to risk putting your hand in the cookie jar for, but it's an early advantage nonetheless in terms of manpower available.
Yeah, Galatasaray really scraping for anything here. If they could pick up this round, it would be absolutely massive. Give them another chance of getting into this one if they lose it, which is more likely considering the economy. Things get a lot more difficult for them. Oh no, Erlaswog jump peeking, his head taken off by Chronicle. They're going to be picking brain matter out of the brickwork for weeks after that one. And Galatasaray back to a difficult start into the round. Batista gets one more on there. Chronicle holding this one down. Again, he has really been the linchpin for the team so far. Can he do a little bit more? Yes, he can with the Outlaw. One more down. And Galatasaray players coming at him from all angles, but he's staying alive somehow. There's another. He might just make it 4 as well, holding down the site by himself. Fent tells him no thank you, but still the damage has been done by Chronicle. He has been the thorn in the side of Galatasaray so far this time. And Vitality thanking him emphatically, I think, over the course of this first map, because without his influence, I don't think Vitality would be winning by 4 rounds at this point. Make it 5 after this one, because I don't think there's much Vent can do from this position.
I mean, even if Chronicle doesn't find all of those kills, even if it's 2 instead of 3, you know, is the attention that's been held for so long. Has just got all the time for them to plant on the other side. There's going to be no time to get to the defuse. By the time they even get over to that site, it's kind of already done and dusted. And so Chronicle just putting up a fight, whether he wins or loses, is magnificent. But I mean, what a 3-piece to put together there. And as you said, just sort of being swarmed, dogpiled on all sides, still hangs on a little bit longer. And there we go. Oh, it hurts. You can feel that one.
I mean, what can you even do if you were last there, right? You're jump peeking. You shouldn't be getting
it's
killed
safe,
there.
Right, guys? It's just a jump
when you
peek.
play against Vitality, I guess, there are different rules. You need to be a lot more careful with those jump peaks. This, in contrast to last half, is definitely a good time for that timeout.
Yes.
Next buy round coming up, I mean, realistically, you need to win this one, but there's still work to do after that. I'm sure that's what's getting talked about right now. 5-round deficit, definitely not the end of the world. Definitely doable for a team like Galatasaray, who have so far had 3 very good results. Keep in mind, Galatasaray have only come up against VCT teams so far. Their first matchup, of course, against Foot Esports, who they faced in Intel Monsters Reloaded just a month ago. They won against them, took them down. Gentlemates after that took them down, and took BBL Esports to overtime on the first map, and very close to overtime on the second map as well. They have been an incredibly good team, considering how tough their run has been so far.
Yeah, they've actually really surprised a lot of people, I think. They're a name that's actually really starting to get a little bit more weight behind it. There we go. Oh, you can't tell even what that was, but it's Sayonara that's going to find one. A little bit of an assist there from the Tejo Util, but you go Durka having a nosy over towards Glove's footsteps. Going to be heard, but I'm going to give the fight that he's so itching for. Drop one down. Okay, both of them going to get caught by the tether. That has to dip on out. Profec's got one. There is a trade, not onto him, but onto Durka. It is going to just give them a little bit more room to work with. They've rotated another player off, which is a little bit of an issue, but Isa, lovely find there's going to stop any imminent danger, and now that rotate's actually starting to look pretty good ahead of the curve here.
Oh, Seeker's used there by Sayonara, but Yampi gets his head taken off as he moves in towards the site now. And that slows down Vitality heftily, especially with that orbital strike too. Vent does one, but Profek is there Operator in hand, picks up the Phantom instead, moving in towards site. Still work left to do. Out goes the snake bite. Slow him down. Fakes the plant one more time, but he's still stuck in the smoke. He doesn't know which way he's facing, and Werlas will take full advantage. The timeout this time for Galatasaray working out for them. And they can move on in this one. The deficit reduced to 4.
Nicely done indeed. This initial fight, it looked pretty good there. But the call to rotate an extra player over towards A, even whilst you're still dealing with what was at the time 3 players over towards B, it's a ballsy, it's a risky move, but actually it pays off because the moment that, you find that one extra kill, and you find, that one extra player, Padisa, with that just single op shot, suddenly shifts the whole team's momentum and focus over towards A, which is exactly what they want to do, funneling that attention. And now here we go again, opening fight going to be majorly important. Ziask, as the paint shell is going to stop any early info. Wall's going to go down, but smoke's still there nonetheless, and actually lovely advanced positions here.
Galatasaray is still aware that they can't really make much of a mistake whatsoever here. Holding off this many players is going to be difficult. Zeus manages to find one almost a second as well, but Sayonara just takes full advantage of the awkward positioning there for Galatasaray as they move through the smoke. 2 quick headshots with the Sheriff. Out goes the Viper's Pit for Vitality to try and secure the round. It's still a 4v3. And Durka trying to take his weaponry in so that he can use the Judge in the Viper's Pit and then switch back quickly. And that's 2 quick kills for Durka. Padisa, it's all up to him in the end. Operator in hand, but it's not going to help him at close range. Vitality, they make it map point.
It's the best gun in the game. I've said it once, I'll say it to the high heavens. And it's so well done. And yeah, you can see the weapon switching, trying to make sure that options are available. Actually, doesn't even really need the backups there. You can see gives up on the kind of weapon juggling just to run on forward there. And actually so aggressive. Missed shots from Padisa is a little bit of a problem. There's 2 shots in there that are kind of missed though. If they connected, entirely different round there. One towards the end onto Durka, one a little bit earlier on. But now double scopes coming on out from Vitality. Interesting to see what they're wanting to do with this. So much space taken towards showers already though. Gloves got the Nightfall there. It's going to be a deterrent, but actually it's not that important, especially with this sort of emphasis being put on the push here from Padisa.
Good couple of first kills there from Galatasaray, holding on to this map with the, well, by the skin of their teeth, with their fingernails, whatever you want to call it now. And ults available to be used. Viper's Pit goes out below Hookah here. Just trying to stop Vitality from getting anything out of this round. They still need to collect the spike, and actually there's a error in their back line, but Chronicle is well aware of that. Takes out Glove, leaving it in a 3v4 Profec. Doesn't manage to get anything done out towards A short, so for Yampi and Chronicle, the decision has to come through whether they want to go for this one, whether they want to save these weapons. I mean, they got plenty of time to close out this map. They do not need to be going for unnecessary pushes in towards sites or fights taken.
30
More than
seconds
happy
left.
to save an operator, or just 2 rifles as well. That works.
Yeah, I think that kill onto Ziask would have been absolutely everything in this round. Losing that fight has kind of stumped them majorly, and also it's given so much time to remaining.
Chronicle able to get a trade there. 13 seconds left in the round, though. They are, in the end, going for this one. Might as well. He takes out his third and has time to get the plant down. Maybe the map will be over right here if he can hold off 2 players from either side. He's only got 8 bullets left in his gun, so he's going to have to make them count here. Vent is going to be the first one to try and take on the kill, but it's a quick headshot from Chronicle. Maybe he can close it out with an ace. It's just Werlas left, and he's only on a tiny sliver of health. How is he going to get this one done? Vitality, I thought they were going to wait for the next round to try and finish it off, but now Werlas is searching for Chronicle here, and the player who has had the team on his back this whole time is now just playing a game of cat and mouse. He gets it done with the final headshot, and of course it had to be Chronicle. Of course it had to be an ace. That is just the epitome
Biblical.
of that whole map.
That was otherworldly. And you see the pieces, 8 bullets, health's not amazing, 2 players left. The fact, that they're able to retreat back behind the boxes is miraculous in and of itself there. But, I mean, What a clutch there at the end. That is such a statement of what we have come to expect, what we have come to love of this Vitality team. And Chronicle and Prophet being the two players we highlighted, and my oh my were we spot on with that. And you got to give credit where it's due here, is that it wasn't, a complete rollover, right? Galatasaray put up a huge fight, put up a really good fight, but the issue was not a comp that was particularly leaning towards that defense side. When it started slipping super quickly, and just some of the shots we were seeing here were otherworldly.
Right, I mean, Fnatic are probably... Well, I'm not going to say turning in their graves. We don't know how they're going to play next season, but maybe regretting letting Chronicle move on because, God, he's been just unreal. This player is still the Chronicle that we lauded 4 years ago at this point. Ridiculous to close it out. Astra and an Omen come out for either team in this next map. I'm sure we'll see. Well, I don't really know what they're going to favor in terms of duelists on this one. But
Waylay
was, yeah.
I was going to say Waylay was the name on the tip of my tongue, and it seems that both of them have had a similar idea. I like the Sage coming back out. That's just a personal one. I think that there are very few maps that she's viable on, this being one of them. And I think, well, the thing is, you can play your same comp from the first map in the next. So I think Sage is an interesting one. There's got to be some thought going into this because it's not exactly like they've been pigeonholed into having to use this composition. But I'm liking that we're getting to see a little bit of variety here. Definitely an odd composition coming out here from Galatasaray, I think. But, all serviceable options.
Yeah. I think, the map veto has worked out in a way that allows you to have those kind of serviceable options, right? We're seeing some slightly weird stuff. I mean, right, a breach on...
No flashes.
Well, in this meta anyway, breach is, not the favoured initiator at this time, but if you have him, you might as well use him here, and, I'm sure Sayonara will be more than comfortable on that agent, right? And yeah, Astra, I think, is just leaving Omen for the final map there for Galatasaray. I think that is really the only reason you're picking Astra over Omen in this scenario. But both of these compositions are going to work out for the teams.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the lack of utility to maybe peek round corners and flash yourselves with for Galatasaray. But I mean, when you're given the fights like that for free, you're not even going to need them. Dirk
is still yet to really warm up into the game, but he has plenty of time still to do so. It's not best of ones anymore. And, they lost the last... Well, not the last pistol round, but the first pistol round in the series as well. So we know that they can come back from this kind of situation. Yampi taken out as well. Profek is the one that's going to be trying to hold them down to start off with. And Galatasaray will make their move in towards site here. Sayonara trying to stop them from getting in. At the very least, slowing them down, making them head somewhere else. But they're running right into Chronicle, who this time around does not manage to get much success there. And you know what? I talked about a strat roulette train around the map, and Galatasaray have exactly what? You're looking at him. You're looking at him. Also, Glove just forgot that there are enemies on the map.
Also, sorry, did they just put the Sage wall and the Deadlock wall up? They're coming back into this.
Don't ask questions.
I'm asking questions because I'm very confused right now. And now it's a two versus two. They are going through a choke point, but Flash to get them through the corner here. Oh, but unfortunately, they don't quite find the picks there. Verilas going to find both. And
scratch that one from the records.
Yeah, I mean, one of the rounds of all time.
Yeah, I think Galatasaray were yet to turn the brains on here in this round. That's absolutely fine.
All panic and speed.
I love the idea of walking around the map. Glove, I don't know if maybe he's got a towel on the bottom of his screen and couldn't see Sayonara there, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, the wall and the Deadlock util at the same time. It is. Hey, they won the round. They won the round.
Yeah, exactly. If it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. That is one of my. I've got that one on a t-shirt as well.
How many t-shirts do you have?
I've got a lot of t-shirts. I've got a lot of them.
Okay, fair enough. You need them. That's fair. They are a useful.
I mean, they come in
useful
handy
thing
in
to have.
situations like this. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
curious if we're going to get some more Heaven Havoc coming on here. Zia's going to be the first one taking contact. There it is. There's the first pick. Now, a little bit, there's a snake's pit down below them. 3 players looking on up. And actually, Sixth Sense has warned them away from this.
Yeah, I think a good choice as well, because Vitality, I was worried that they were all just going to swarm up the rope and try and get the kills done, but instead Chronicle goes for a little peek, sees that there's a bit of danger and stays where he is, because, hey, look, if they can't get onto the site, then they can't get onto the site. They're going to have to take the fight eventually at this point here, and instead they head back over towards A. The better choice, I would say, out of that. Oh! No scope from Zesk will get it done, though. Oh, almost a second as well, but Durka able to dodge that bullet. And the rest of Galatasaray heading over towards A. Oh, my lord, Yampi narrowly avoids danger there, but runs right into a shock dart, gets taken out in the end. Galatasaray should be converting this one with no problems whatsoever, but let's see if Durka has anything to say about it with that outlaw that he has picked up. Oh, unable to get the kill there. And the second time of asking, misses the shot once again. Profek, as much as he has had a lot of impact on that last map, I don't think is going to be able to do much in this 1v4. So it is all going to be a question now of just hitting a couple shots there. That was a nice framing of Padisa's head. So that'll be a free one, but that should be all she wrote.
Should be. There we go. Actually not going to be allowed to get anything further than that. Nicely done too on the board. It's not without a couple of casualties, and given the weaponry and buy that they came into this with, there will be no complaints from Vitality. 2 kills, a couple of orbs along the way as well. Should be just nice. Now it's going to be the real test of whether we see Galatasaray show us that things have improved, that they've kind of managed to wipe the slate clean from what was quite a dominant end of the half of Vitality over on Bind. But yeah, it all comes down to this one. They make the best of not a great situation coming into it, but whether they can capitalize, that's going to be the real question of the hour.
Yeah, I mean, last map we also saw Galatasaray get off to a flyer of a start, and then suddenly,
true.
Second half, things all fell apart very, very quickly. This time around, I mean, it's a very similar kind of idea, right? They're starting
destroyed
on that side once again, and just getting off to a good start. It's great. You have to be able to keep up the tempo and convert those rounds. Oh, what a shot, Profek! I mean, the reaction time on that one, Somebody do some maths on that. That's got to be below 150 milliseconds there. Durka managing to take down Whirless as well, and Profek looking for a little more. He's feeling warm on this one. Yampi on the board too. Vitality not taking prisoners here on their gun round.
Yeah, a lovely clear out there. I mean, Glove didn't stand a chance. The blinds, the stuns coming on through. That's a difficult situational round, but we talked about it, is that sometimes they're just playing off a vibe. Sometimes it's just individual. Look at that shot.
God!
It's magnificent.
I'm pregnant now.
That's quite the feat, actually, you know.
Yeah, well.
If you thought the shot was impressive, I mean, the follow-up then is... We're really, truly making miracles of nature happen in this server today.
Yeah, exactly. I think everybody feels a little bit emasculated by Chronicle in that first map. They've not allowed him to get a kill so far here in the second, but it's early doors. Still plenty of time for him to get a 30k in the end. It is Profek at the top of the board right now. And yeah, Vitality are looking more like Vitality right now, I think. They're looking very confident after that round.
The mid to B split here is going to be interesting. I mean, they really need to deal with these Heaven players, but they've got an opportunity to really do some damage if they can clear this out. Padiso with the first there, the slow coming on through to really stop them peeking. This gives them the whole of the site. Actually, they're not even going to split. They are just going to filter everyone back on through towards B and post on up here.
Well, Spike will go down.
Spike planted.
Now, it's all up to Vitality for the retake. Let's see if that confidence can get them through this round. A 2-2 split coming in from CT and from main as well. Good shot from Yampi to get things started. They were there a little bit quicker than Galatasaray expected. That's a brilliant seize as well. Does a lot of work to help Sayonara get that second kill. And Padiza, no gun out, but that's absolutely fine.
She's just waving the resurrection. You know?
Why not? Do a little dance move.
stun your teammates, you know, why not?
Farming is more important than winning the round.
I think that Vitality here, just the end of that round really shows the vibes that are going on, right?
Yeah.
Is that even though they were losing, it feels like already they're kind of in good spirits. I mean, the stun at the end, whilst they're just on the defuse, when there's no stakes realistically, it is kind of a little bit of a depiction. The seizes all day on all fronts have been magnificent, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if this keeps on up. It's not going to be a particularly bountiful buy coming in here for Galatasaray. It doesn't mean to say that it's not going to be successful. He's really super fast, but unfortunately right into Durka's trap. Nice.
Yeah, and the seize is great again. Oh my lord, Yampi cleans up. It's just a shooting gallery. And it makes it 3 for Vitality in a matter of seconds.
I'm very confused as to what we're witnessing here. Just sheer dominance, I guess. And as we talked about it, the seize is great. The seize is actually immaculate because it leads to 4 kills, whether directly or whether just staggering them enough to allow the transfers to come on through. But, I mean, there's not even anywhere really to hide. Just kind of stood out in the open, allowed to spray all of them down.
Yeah, perfectly done. Again, an eco round for Galatasaray there, but that does not make the feat less impressive of lining them up and getting those kills. And for Galatasaray, it does give them a little less confidence. And Durka suddenly feeling himself a little bit more. The operator has not been hitting for him so far to date, but there you go. Able to do it. Oh no, but he's slowed down completely. Gets around the corner just in time. Sends out an ult of his own. I mean, this could go anywhere at this point. Durka manages to find the second, as well as desperately tries to spray him down. Slowed down. Durka looking for a little more out of this. And there's the third. He's awoken. Suddenly you have to be a little bit scared of this bold man. Oh, his head reflective. He's able to get another bit of damage down onto Vent there. Maybe finish this one out. If Durka can just get a couple more here, he'll be feeling very confident moving on in this map. Able to leg Zesk as well. Oh, and there's the fourth. Can he finish it off? It's Profek who gets the final one, but I think the credit goes to Durka there.
I fully expected the ace bait there. I fully expected it. We've seen teams doing it all tournament. That's one of the things is, with it being an off-season, teams have had a little bit of fun, but, I mean, what a sequence coming out here. The fact that he's allowed to live so long through the hinders as well, because he gets hinders not once, but twice in this position. Still peeks out and finds one. Proof that it's all just cosmetic at the end of the day, but, I mean... This is a team that is looking unstoppable. We said it yesterday. How do you contend with instant death?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is... Vitality were finding it very difficult to get rounds. Like, oh my god!
It's happened again!
Do that. You couldn't even see either of them. It was just spray him down anyway. That's fine. Again, he takes 4 shots to get 2 kills. Exactly the same as the final round of that last map. And Profik will clean up the rest. It's a full house there for Vitality. This is more like what we expected to see getting into this game, right? Vitality, they may have taken a map to warm up. It might have come off the back of Chronicle having to carry them a little bit, but now suddenly they're feeling so confident. You can see the gap in the, you know, the theoretical skill of these players, right? The peak of Vitality is so much higher than Galatasaray can even reach. They're having to take attack pause now just to collect themselves.
I think necessary. I think you need to figure out how you want to play this round. I want to see them really slow this down, right? I think that I want to see some sort of switch up of the pace, because running in face first has led to them dying with bullets to the face, right? They've got 4 ultimates available and online to them, right? To play a little bit slower, to try bait out some of these Vitality players. They're feeling confident. Play on that confidence, right? They've been wanting to go for these super aggressive fights to lure them in to these extremities and these fights in your territory, and try find an opening, pick back away, and sort of pull and push with this map control a little bit more, as opposed to just running straight in.
Yeah, suddenly you're playing against a completely different team now. For Galatasaray, of course, they do have ults available, so they can try and get the momentum back in their favour, but sometimes there's an extra game going on underneath the game that you're watching, right? The scoreline is 5-2, but for Vitality, it just feels like, you know, they're on that 13-0 kind of mindset. And that can be difficult to disrupt for Galatasaray. They've got to get Vitality out of that headspace where they're feeling that confidence to be able to get the comeback started in this one. And Profek just sprays down too. He'd already been headshot through the wall, but he still manages to get it done. He gets a third as well. We don't even get to see that one. It's another one for free. This man has been farming over the course of these first 2 maps. Oh, but it might be the only 2 maps at this point. I don't know why I'm saying might. It probably will be only 2 maps. Vitality aren't giving Galatasaray anything right now.
I mean, every round starting with at least a 2K. It's raising some eyebrows, you know. How do you stop this immediate 2-player disadvantage? Yampy wants a 2K of his own here, might actually just be giving it. Spots the first player, spots the gun baller at the second. It doesn't have any teammates particularly nearby. There's the paranoia to give the space for Durka to try do this. The jumping on up. It's an awkward angle with the op here, but stuck between a rock and a hard place. The walls are closing in, and it's Yampy to find the pick.
Man. It feels like a completely different game to that first map. Keep in mind, you know, Vitality, that was their map pick. Fine. But that's how it sometimes is, right? Look, it does take a little bit to get into the server and just get going. Maybe they didn't play as much Team Deathmatch as they wanted to have time for before this one. They've gotten into the server and suddenly, after a pretty difficult kind of time of that first map, they feel a lot better here. Galatasaray didn't even get to use ult that round.
Nope.
They had 4
Died
available.
too
They have
quickly.
the same 4 available now. Yeah, exactly. Durka is feeling so confident. He's just going up. There we go. He's now really woken up with that operator, which was just not working for him on the last map. He had to give up that, delegate that kind of responsibility to Chronicle in this one. This time, he's on both sides of the map. He's trying to get everything done for the team, and it's working out.
I mean, I said I want to see something slower, and they've been very much forced to take a back seat here. Issue is this control over towards A is tenuous and lenient at best, so far removed. They're going to have to do so much space clearing and so much diligence as they take every single meter that they push on forward. Smoke goes out, it's going to funnel them all up in towards heaven instead. Dart goes out. It's not going to be broken, but it's not going to find anybody either. A lot of noise to be heard here. Chronicle's got the first sign. Ira peeks on out. And 1 by 1, they peek out of the smoke, and they topple like dominoes.
And it feels over, just like that. I mean, the scoreline is only 7-2, but Vitality, this is so much better from them. I mean, this is lovely as well. They just didn't give Galatasaray anything. And for Galatasaray, where is the answer? We haven't seen anything since those first 2 rounds.
Running out of the smoke 1 by 1 wouldn't have been my play.
No.
Well, I mean, it probably would have. Let's not kid ourselves. I am awful at this game, right? So it probably would have been my play. But from a third-party perspective, it felt like that they just panicked and pressed the W key. And you can't be doing this against a team that is punishing you for every key tap you make.
Yeah. Well, going very quickly now. The pace of play has been increased so much. Durka, his streak of shots landed finally gets reset back to 0. But wait, was that an ult from Galatasaray?
They used the annihilation, but it didn't
catch anyone. Oh, and Durka's there. He finds the first kill in the round once again. This man's first bloods are going to be brilliant. It's revive. But Durka just takes a second bite of the cherry. You can't just leave him to die. Why are you doing that? That's so rude. Oh, man. Using an ult for nothing as well here. Profik is going to have to hold him back. That's good timing there on the ult from Vitality to be there for Profik and help him survive that one. But it is down to a 4v4 now. Vitality have no ults left, and Galatasaray invest every single ult. It's a very early Hunter's Fury with no information. It's only going to get 1 tag onto Profik in the end, who will displace himself, get himself out of dodge. Can he get any kills, though? That's the question. No, Vent is able to find that first one. The Cosmic Divide keeping away the rest of Vitality, but in comes Durka from the opposite angle. He finds his third, but Disa is able to slow him down, but the Aftershock is going to make him move out of the way. 3 players remain for Galatasaray. They send the wall up. The time is ticking down. Vitality don't have much left in the bank. They're going to have to retake at some point here. They still have the opportunity to, and they're still feeling themselves. They're still on fire. Can they get it done and maintain that momentum throughout the rest of this map? It's looking less and less likely as we move. The trade is good from Werlas, and it's all up to Chronicle. He was the hero of the first map. Can he be the hero of the second? It's looking like that might just be the case. Chronicle is insane!
What do you even say to that? What do you even say to that? You draw out every single ult available. You weather the storm. 2 versus 4. It looks unretakeable. They've thrown everything at you. It is just against the odds, but the odds don't mean anything. Okay, Doka misses the first shot, finds the second, finds, 6 kills in the round. There are no words.
Galatasaray threw everything at the wall to see what would stick.
And nothing did.
Nothing. They got close. They got close to winning the round, but they didn't. 4 ults, and it didn't work.
You know those, sticky hands, those sticky rubber hands? That feels like what they were throwing at the wall there.
Right.
It's like, it's not going to move anything. It's decorative, it's performative, it's not going to do anything meaningful, but... Timeout called, and I think you need to, right? After a loss like that, where it looked so in the bag for you, you lose to another 2K, another multi-kill from absolutely no... I don't know where they're pulling these out from, It's like a magician's hat. They keep pulling out the row of flags. It's like, how many more do you have? But the issue is 8-2. This is already out of hand. The buy's not looking good here. This is just Vitality's stomping ground.
Yeah, this is starting to feel insurmountable for Galatasaray. I mean, they did well in that one, right? They were in a situation the whole of the second part of that round where they should have converted it, and still it did not work out because you're playing against players like Durka who can get 3K with the operator from the flank. You're playing against Chronicle who can win that 1v2 in any situation, and suddenly, after a timeout, they're left with 0 ults, 0 weaponry, and they just have to make it work this time, and it seems less and less likely. That's good from them. They managed to get 2 kills off the back of a trade onto Profek, and now trying to hold things off. Vitality will have a more difficult time of getting onto site this time around. Padisa somehow survives that situation and leaves them in that 4v3, but there is an ult available here for Vitality, and I don't see a reason why they don't just run in for this retake, because they've got to be feeling themselves right now.
Yeah, the issue is going to be Glove here tucked away. You can deal with Glove, then you've got a whole sort of clear run at the throne. Glove gets dispatched of. The issue is they're running out of time now. Ziask still hanging on for dear life, and they will cling on. Chronicle, I think maybe just a little bit too much to ask this time. Timer just too low, already past the point of no return. But it's not exactly a pretty sight here, and it looks like still wanting to do a little bit more damage on the exit. They will be able to take very limited with them. It's a thrifty, but just about.
Before the switch.
Good stuff. Very good stuff that time from Galatasaray. The timeout works out for them, but it feels like too little too late, right? The maximum they can get in the rest of this half is 2 rounds. Making it 8-3 is wonderful, puts you in a good position, but Vitality have plenty of money to buy up into this next one, and it should be absolutely fine for them. Even if Galatasaray do make this one happen, it's still an 8-4 half, and when the sides switch, the way Vitality have been playing, I feel like they're going to be even better on the attack.
Back in a flash.
Almost certainly. And I mean, that's what we saw on the other half as well, as the second half they just kept ramping up and ramping up. Durka immediately a pick, and it baits them into a false sense of security to pick that.
Oh, it's good from Zesk, but he can't manage to convert more than one, and his teammates are not there in support to be able to help out, get a trade in his favor. It leaves it in a 4v2 with no ultimates for Galatasaray to try and swing this one back. They're going to have to rely on their gunplay, which has been sorely lacking over the course of this map in comparison to Vitality. Sure, they've been good, but they haven't been Vitality good so far. And it's a good kill to get things back. But the spike's still in the hands, as you can see, of the Vitality players. Werlas being
That
kept here
line.
in the main. Padisa will come up. Wall gonna help them get through on this one. Okay, get the orb. Gives them the revive back, and Glove will be back in the round. That is a very good way to get yourself back into things. The time, 30 seconds. Vitality are
30
going to play with them a
seconds
little bit here and try and whittle that down as much as possible. Durka manages to make the first shot hit with a flick through the wall. Prophet gets a second. Durka finishes it out. Durka has been insane over the course of this map. He really woke up here. And moving into the second half, they only have 4 rounds to go.
It's the way that they play in tandem off of each other at the end here. It's beautiful to watch. This is why many describe, Valorant as an art form at times. And you see moments. This is a little bit of an interesting one. I think that when the wall goes up like that, yeah, they're going for the ult, but you surely got to expect somebody to be on top of the wall, especially when the spike's in front of you. It feels weird to be cordoning yourself off just for the ult orb. I would have thought that maybe they would have been a little bit more weary towards the top of the wall, but alas, doesn't matter when the shots are landing like that. They are hitting like a freight train.
Well, now, Galatasaray have to hold off the attack of Vitality for 10 rounds on the trot to be able to take this one back. Well, maybe not on the trot, but regardless, 10 rounds. And that's looking less and less likely as we move on. They managed to make an eco round happen, but apart from that, it has just been the pistol and the capitalization of that pistol for them so far. They really kind of need this pistol, and if Yampi starts things out with a kill onto Zesk, that's not looking like the most likely outcome.
No, it is not. It's a good way to start. They start this half as they meant to finish the last. It seems that, often we'd worry about teams getting overconfident. I feel like this has not even been a worry. It feels like the more confident they got, the better they've been. There is a trade to come on through here. Fall back, heal on up, but the issue is that actually it's the other side of the map that we're starting to turn our eyes to. They've heard nothing else, but they've got no eyes in mid either, so information sorely lacking about the very soon-to-be onslaught.
30 seconds
Well,
left.
in goes Durka, trying to find something. It doesn't work out. Well, Ass is going to take advantage of that. Vent spraying down into the smoke as well takes out Yampi. The remaining 2 players slowed down, able to pick up the spike. The help of the smoke from the side of Galatasaray, but they're just going to clean up as Vitality tried to move in, and it seems like Galatasaray, the kings of the pistol rounds, but how much can that contribute to your round total in the end? We'll have to find out.
It is nicely done. We got to sing the praise and the credit where it's due there, right? It looks a little bit haphazard. They get so aggressive, they get punished for it, and when they pick up the spike, instead of looking to fall back and find another angle, they push forward into yet another smoke. It's all kind of a trap, and a nicely laid one at that. Galatasaray needs to be a conversion here. They cannot afford to be losing to an all-classic bye. And I don't think they will. I'm going to have some faith in them on this one. Chronicle looking to slice away at the wall. Pedisa is going to hear all of this and just ready up.
Yeah, lying in wait here for Chronicle. Vent spraying down into main is going to be able to take down Yampi, almost Durka as well. And for Vitality, I think it will be another round that they don't manage to convert with the lower economy. Not that that stopped them from getting 9 in the first half, so just looking for any kills that they can get here, Vitality, to make their lives a little easier moving on forward. But Zesk will take out another onto Sayonara. Pedisa starting to get a little lackadaisical here. Could get taken advantage of by Chronicle if he doesn't face check that corner. But it doesn't seem like he's aware of anything going on that side, so at the very least I do think a trade is going to come out from Vitality once Durka is taken down. Oh no, but he sees Chronicle in the end, and Pedisa will manage to get that 2k to finish things off. Galatasaray have given themselves a chance to make the comeback happen.
Huge lifeline here, huge lifeline. The fact that they do so flawlessly is really good to see as well, that they're not giving away any, silly kills to the classics here. It is a little bit haphazard of this double swing. I think the Pedisa, the fact that, he falls back so quickly is really nicely done. Here's the footsteps. So, credit where it's due. The 9-5, it feels, maybe a little bit misdirectional given what we saw during the first half. And actually, 9-5 is a lot closer than a lot of people we're going to give credit to at the end of that half. But there's Chronicle again on an opening tear. Will this time get his hand slapped out of the cookie jar after only retrieving one such cookie?
Every kill here for Galatasaray is absolutely massive for them, of course. In the end, the grand prize is a round win here, and to do that, you're going to have to hold off Vitality that have been feeling very, very good about themselves over the course of this, but Profek only manages to land the headshot through the edge of the wall, doesn't get the kill, and therefore can't convert the next one. Sayonara will finish off Whirlass there.
Excuse me?
Again, what is going on with you guys passing each other like that? Can we start? I need to know what colorblindness setting they have on, because they need to switch it. 2v2 now. The next 1v1 is going to be between Sayonara with the rifle and Vent with the SMG. Vent's the one who wins it out.
30
It
seconds
is just
only.
Durka left. He's really been the MVP of the map so far, but the res will come through, and that makes his job just that much more difficult. Yeah, as you mentioned, 25 seconds left. Spike in hand, he gets that kill, but 45 health remaining, and he has to get through both Galatasaray players if he wants to get it down. Galatasaray convert their third.
Really good to see here. Really nicely done that they are punishing them. These double swings have actually started becoming a lot more effective here. And I think that Vitality, even if they're winning this, first opening pick, it's the fact that Chronicles immediately punish that nobody is swinging solo. Because when these solo fights are isolated, that's when Vitality is going to capitalize here. Is that no kill goes unpunished. I have no idea how Yampi didn't see Padisa there, but sometimes in the heat of battle, things get a little blurry.
Yeah, oh my lord, Durka runs into a pretty difficult time there. Escapes with his life, but good information gained at the very least. Radisa again lying in wait, trying to get something done. Not sure if he's aware that Chronicle has passed already. They don't send the owl drone up, so that's a good sight line for Chronicle to take advantage of. He will get the first onto Badisa, and in the other end of the map, Sayonara has already found one as well. Chronicle picking up the rifle, gets a third for the team, and Vitality on an eco round, still yet to take a casualty.
I saw him described as LeCron James, and that's starting to feel so true here. Third in the rounds, and, I don't think there's anything Vent's going to be able to do. Already so much space taken beyond the site.
Yeah, only Vent left, and he's going to be running into every single player from the team. It's a thrifty flawless from Vitality to make it 10. That is not what Galatasaray wanted after getting the first 3 rounds of the half. Things were looking up for them. Now they're looking very, very down. At the very least, they'll be able to buy into the next round.
It's all hinging off of Chronicle being slightly ahead of where they expect. They send the Outrun up. They find out that Chronicle's there. They don't even have to kill Chronicle. They just have to know that he's there. That round then has a lot more query thrown into it, right? Alas, they have no idea. They don't check. The fact that he gets one is amazing. The fact that he gets to the second through the Cypher cage is, quite frankly, ridiculous. But here we go. Wall broken immediately. And the smoke going to come out in response just to make sure that no one pushes. Just stall them away from this A site. Push them over towards B, where they've got a lot more players lying in wait.
Yeah, Zesk hoping to get an opening kill here. Profek is the one lying outside of this, and he will hopefully at some point just have paranoia. Well, that will definitely catch Zesk. He'll get out of that. But the space has been gained for Vitality. It's quite a decent amount of utility to just gain main, but can springboard off of that, although Zesk is going back in for seconds. Can he do what Chronicle and Durka did from this position on their own defensive half? The blind is good. He's going to have to back up once again. Vitality just investing that utility to displace every player from Galatasaray. Club has been seized in place. He gets taken out by Yampi, and Vitality are just going to move on in. Neural theft utilized as well. They know exactly where all of these defensive players are. Durka's coming in from an off angle. They're not aware of it. He takes down 2 with the Outlaw. He's going to pick up a weapon of his own and just start cleaning up here, as he has been this whole map.
And such crossfires established. You now know where both of these remaining players are. And Yampi finds the first. I don't think there's anything you can do here as Ven. I don't even think escaping is certain, because you can already see the wrap coming on through. Now we can see that Vitality knows they've got to wrap if there is a player here, but I mean, Ven, you got to fight for your survival here, slowly being encroached upon, but actually still wanting to push forward. One orb away from the Wonder Wall and is hungry for it.
Yeah, looking for an exit at the very least. He's going to be hunted down at this point. And there is the exit. That's good. That's exactly what I wanted. And at this point, trying to save an operator. It's not going to get out of there, unfortunately. Sayonara will say sayonara. It was right there, sorry. And Vitality make it to 11.
Yeah, now on the precipice, it seems, economy is kind of in shambles here. It's all over the place for Jess. So I'm scared. This looks like it could be a recipe for series point. Durka's looking so clean. And it's another round where something super snappy. Ultimates are now majorly online here for a lot of these Vitality players, which is just going to be an extra hurdle that they have to try and overcome. I think we need to talk about it. Glove, 1-15 going into round 18 here. It is just, you can't be slacking like that. You need to be finding something, especially against a team that's had your number every day of the week.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think, for Galatasaray, the series as it stands has just slipped away from them more and more as time has gone on. And Glover's really not kept up with this one. He doesn't even fire a shot in this round. Completely shell-shocked here by Vitality as the spike goes down. And they're going to have to try and retake this one. Oh, with the odds definitely stacked against them. But Padisa is able to take down Durka, who has really been the linchpin for Vitality here in map 2. Makes it a 4v4. The retake definitely possible now, but they are beset on all sides by Vitality players.
Yep, this one it feels doomed already, cursed even. Sayonara just holding for this angle. Behind the screen, here's the footsteps, there's the first, and as they drop down one by one, flashes available just to keep them out in the open. Sitting ducks, it's a nice shot, but it's cosmetic in the grand scheme of how this is all playing out. And Verlis, I mean, all you can hope to do here is die to the spike and not to Sayonara. It turns out that both of them will die to the spike, but it doesn't matter at this point. They need to double their rounds if they even want to see overtime, but that is, I don't even feel like that's on the tip of anybody's tongues right now.
Yep, having to bring this one back. Obviously, they should have a little bit of economy. I mean, there was a Bulldog bought. I assume that was to get them to 1.5k or so. I mean, we'll see now what the buy looks like for Galatasaray. It's absolutely fine. That will service them for this one, but they're going to have to do a little more, right? Padisa has really been doing a lot of the work for this team right now. Everybody else kind of having a non-starter, which is not surprising against a team that looks the way that Vitality do right now. It's going to be difficult to win those fights, and I think that's what they've been finding so far. As Durka takes the head off of Glove, he's not going to be able to get more kills in this game, and if it ends right here, that is 1 kill for the whole game. Profik looking to make that happen with a operator shot onto Zesk, Sayonara onto Padisa. It's looking over. There are 2 ults available for Galatasaray, but what can a Cosmic Divide do against a Vitality that's just been pushing through smokes left, right, and center anyway? Maybe they can get something done, but it's looking so unlikely, and Vitality are letting them sweat.
Yeah, and I mean, Vent is pushing here. Why not? You need to do something. And maybe proactivity is the way to go. The flashes here is going to be around the corner. Vent's just going to stand their ground, taken down 1 versus 5 against the world.
Yeah, well, if there was any time to do it, it would be right now. Durka trying to hold him back. Warlass is the player that has to do it all. Nightfall hits him. He doesn't get a single shot landed. Vitality take it 13-6. And it looked for a second in map 1 like maybe they were going to have a tough series here against